Hey Shalom, I want to start off as always by giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kodash, double honors to the apostles of GMS, and honors to you brothers doing the work in truth, one sincerity. I just want to do one on this saying that you have, which is a fool and his money are soon parted, right? So basically was looking up this saying a couple of days ago. I saw an instance where my boss is about to get a ticket because he's parked without without a permit, and I'm like, yo, you're about to get a ticket. He was just like, fuck it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And this saying comes to mind because when you could spend stupidly, waste money on stupid things, right? You'll end up being broke, right? But it also made me think of this scripture here, right? It says, riches are not comely for a niggard, right? There's a word here, niggard, a stingy or ungenerous person, right? It says, riches are not comely for a niggard, right? And what should an envious man do with money, right? But it also got me thinking about how the scriptures, they're riches, right? And if you ain't right and you get the understanding of these scriptures, right? So the fool and the understanding of the scriptures, right? Or rather, a fool and his understanding of the scriptures are soon parted, right? Because what would you have? It says Psalms 14:1 says, the fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. Right, so basically the fool hath said there is no God, right? And when you say there is no God, there is many ways of saying that. You can physically say it in the way Esau does. You people believing in some God, and all of that shit. But then you can also say it by works, right? When you don't fear the Lord, right, you're saying there is no God. Because if you knew there was a God, you'd fear him. Or if you knew what the Lord was capable of, you'd fear him. Right, if you fall out the truth, you're saying there is no God, meaning you because you don't fear the Lord, right? And also, what does the scripture say about the word, right? It says Proverbs 8:11, for wisdom is better than rubies. Wisdom and what? Wisdom of these scriptures is better than rubies, and rubies are actually precious stones. Unlike, say, diamonds. Diamonds are a precious stone, but they ain't even all that precious. Right, it says, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. And all things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. Right, so wisdom, wisdom is where it's at. Right, so a fool and his understanding of the scriptures are soon parted, right, because they don't believe in the Lord. Right, this is why it says also in Matthew 7:6, give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under feet and turn again and rend you. Which is why we see someone coming up to the camp, we won't even tell them the name of the Lord, man, because they'll trample it, and it's literally like casting your pearls before swine. They'll just make mockery of the name, right? So there that fool doesn't even get paid. That fool doesn't even get paid, but you get guys who will come into the truth, right, do what they're doing, right, but then, for whatever reason, right, they fall out, and then now these riches, now they're parted from these riches, which is the scriptures, right? It says Matthew 25:14 on down, says, for the kingdom of heaven is a man traveling into a far country. He called his own servants, delivered unto them his goods, and unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. Right, all your talents, the gifts that you've been given in this truth, right? The gems that you have, you go out there, you use it, and then the hope is that other men will basically come in to what you have, right? So the more you're given, the more that is required of you, right? It says verse 17, and likewise he that had received 2, he also gained other 2, but he that had received 1 went and digged it in the earth and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, basically, hey, reap what you sow, right? It says, his Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I'll make thee ruler of many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I've gained 2 on the talents beside them. His Lord said unto them, well done, good and faithful servant. For thou hast been faithful over a few things. I'll make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. Notice how they both got the same reward. The guy who had 5 talents, the guy who had 2 talents. Right, and that's another thing. You can't be looking at a man saying, "Oh, you know that man, you know he's deeper in the spirit than I am." You know, hey, you know, yeah, this that. No, because at the end of the day, the Lord's giving you a lot, and as long as you do what you call it, you do what you gotta do. The end game's still the same. The end game is still, you know, a seat on a chariot, right? This is verse 24 says, then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast thine, that is thine. His Lord answered and said, basically, he didn't do what he was supposed to do. Right? This truth was casted off him. It's on the other. It says, his Lord answered and said unto me, thou wicked and slothful servant. Yeah, you didn't do what you had to do. Thou knewest that I reaped where I sowed, and gathered where I have not strawed. Right? Basically saying, you know what it is, man. Yeah, it says, thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchanges, and then at my coming I should receive mine with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Right? So you ain't doing what you know, if you ain't fearing the Lord and doing what you got to do, right? If you ain't believing in the Lord, right, then you gonna be separated from this wealth, the most important wealth, because this is the only wealth in the face of the planet Earth that has the potential to save you. Right, all other wealth is but nothing. Hey, as we read in Proverbs, right, all things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. Proverbs 8:11, right? So yeah, Lord's will with that. That was edifying. Till the next time, I say shalom.